Okay, so that was happening inside Idaho's Supreme Court. Meanwhile, outside the building, there was a small group of people waiting for the decision or possibility of a decision. At the very least, though, they wanted to let the people inside know where they stood on this subject of abortion accessibility. So if they weren't getting a decision, well, at least they wanted the people inside to know where they stood. And there weren't a lot of them, maybe 30 at most, and only a few stuck around for the duration of the hearing. But there was one woman who felt it was important enough to drive all the way from Rexburg to stick around till the very end and show, well, strength isn't always in numbers. Here's Andrew Bartline.
It took a long time for her to get here.
About 4.5 hours, almost 5.
It's just outside Idaho's Supreme Court steps, where Kiersey Ball
Outlines against or for abortion.
Hangs on every word of the arguments heard inside.
I'm glad they're actually talking about it. I'm glad they're considering it.
Tucked in a pallet of protesters, Ball is unified by supporting Planned Parenthood.
We had Roe versus Wade.
And their work to impose a stay on Idaho's near-total abortion ban. It's set to go into effect at the end of the month.
They're taking away our right to the choice. We don't have the choice about what we're going to do with our bodies anymore, and it really truly should be. It's not up to anybody else because they're not paying the bills. They're not taking care of the children. They're not there supporting that parent or those parents 100% of the time.
She's firm in her stance.
The statute should remain stayed.
But Kiersey hasn't always planted her feet on one side of the aisle.
I was always the person that said, I'm not going to be the woman that gets an abortion.
First question.
That was years ago.
There's a long history of criminal prohibition on abortion.
And since, Kiersey's had 2 kids.
We had a real serious conversation about having another child. And I said, I can't do it.
The financial, emotional, and physical toll. It's pushed her to her limit.
I was on bed rest. I was in the hospital multiple times throughout both my pregnancies. I was suicidal and on suicide watch with both of my pregnancies, and no one gave a damn about that. It was only about the children coming out afterwards. So no, I didn't used to think that I would be the mother that would get an abortion. I never thought that I would be the person that would get an abortion. But now, if it came down to it, I would, no question, because my kids are more important than a fetus.
As the arguments dragged on,
And you're talking about...
Yeah, this is what they're doing in there.
support drained out of the crowd. Within an hour, just a few stayed in place to support the stay.
We need people to understand that this affects us and that there's a lot more of us than they think.
Kiersey understands the decision is out of her reach.
We don't know how this is going to go.
Despite the power at hand,
whether that's recognized
in the
under
palm
Idaho
of hers.
Constitution. That's a pure legal question. Whether it
Kiersey can
applies
only
to
wait
race.
and listen. And it
The
took her a long
proceedings
time
interest
to get here.
They don't want to
But
hear
the
our
text of
stories.
the
They don't want to hear what happens. They don't want to hear how it's saved us or how it's benefited us. They don't want to hear the risks of pregnancy.
Now, to be clear about her stance, she loves being a mother. Her kids are the most important part of her life, and that's a huge reason why she doesn't want another child through her first 2 pregnancies, Brian. She talked about how difficult it was, how hard it was, some physical pain, emotional pain, mental health problems as well, to where if she got pregnant again, she doesn't believe she can be fully there for her other children, and it's tough on her. It's a difficult spot to be in, and also the financial aspect too.
And there are a lot of other women out there, I'm sure, just like in that same situation, because as we know, when it comes to abortions because of the health of the mother, it only accounts for about 3% of abortions. So there's a lot on the other side of that, as you said, the health, mental health plays a part in this as well as the health of your body, not just life or death, but just overall health and the severity of that, which is kind of what the point of the DOJ lawsuit that was filed yesterday is going to bring it apart. And as you heard, she had thoughts of, taking her own life and stuff like that. And so it's important. It's a big deal. And if you have thoughts like that, or you're in a situation like, Christy found herself, please reach out. Please find some help. You can even call as simple as 988. That's the Suicide Crisis Lifeline. So don't be afraid to use that number. All right. Thank you very much, Andrew.